Hello, thanks for checking out another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what I just finished, which wasn't a book this time, but it was a manga. So this weekend and earlier today, actually, I finally finished Slam Dunk, and it was a reread of Slam Dunk. So this series, not to summarize too much because it's been around forever, but quickly, it's a story of high school basketball. Our main character is a delinquent. He gets caught up with a girl that asks him if he likes basketball, and he slam dunks on his first try. He doesn't really like basketball, but he gets drawn into the world of basketball through his liking the girl. It sounds a little corny like that, but the manga is one of the all-time greats. I'm sure anyone watching this knows about Slam Dunk by now. It's been out forever. This was actually a reread for me. So I initially read Slam Dunk back in college, which is in the early 2000s. So the manga finished in late 90s. So it's been around for years upon years and is still one of the top ranked mangas of all time, and for good reason. So even on this reread, I was watching the Olympics about a month ago as of this recording. So in the mood for kind of a sports story at the time from what I was reading from books and manga. And I thought, maybe I'll just reread Slam Dunk. Why not? It's one of those I remember vaguely, years and years ago, almost 20 years ago, of reading Slam Dunk the first time. And in the meantime, since getting more into manga the last, about 10 years or so, I've read Takehiko Inoue's other works, which are also super highly rated, Vagabond and Real. Both those are, amazing. Definitely my top 10 in my manga list. Vagabond and Real are super emotional, super great stories. And because it's been so many years since I read Slam Dunk, I think that's also why I wanted to give it another shot. I was, hit the right mood for a sports story, and I knew the author. And I vaguely remember reading it, but I don't remember how I felt reading it. And now, about taking a month to read through all the volumes, it was about 6 weeks of reading. I can confidently say that it still holds up to this day, 2024. It is still one of the greatest stories, greatest mangas I've ever read. And the characters are just super emotional, super real. You really get, attached to all of them, all their side stories. Of course, our main character, Sakuragi, you're always rooting for him to, work harder, learn the next skill, perform better in the next game, get the girl. Even though, of course, he never does at the end. That's not really a spoiler, but at the end, it leaves us kind of on a cliffhanger. He does at the very end what I just read again earlier today. He makes that last play, some great moments of perseverance. And all throughout the series, that was the common theme. There were so many times where I was reading something and you just feel that emotion inside. Literally, my eyes start welling up with tears. It was just so emotional so many times as the Shohoku basketball team goes through their trials and tribulations. When they think they're on the cusp of victory and they don't quite make it, but they come back even stronger than before, and just the plays and everything it just works so well. I'm not a really big sports fan in general. You don't really will catch me watching sports outside the Olympics. I don't watch football or basketball. I've never played any of those sports competitively. I'm a cyclist, not a team sports, but something about Slam Dunk, and later the same author, as he carries over in Real, which is his current work, which is about wheelchair basketball, which I had recently read, a couple years back. That also, and same as his other work, the three great works by Inoue, is Vagabond, which is about Miyamoto Musashi, the swordsman from ancient, history in Japan. And then he has two basketball mangas, Slam Dunk, which is about high school basketball, and then Real, which is about, I think, post-college. They're kind of not really middle-aged, but they're young adults, not in school, and it's wheelchair basketball. Both those, his two recent works, Vagabond and Real, super emotional, just super amazing works as well. And I can confidently say, after now reading Slam Dunk again, years later that I still felt those emotions in the original work, and just the author just kind of proves how great he is. It just, there's nothing more to say. You know, it's so many just gushing words about the work, but it was just amazing. So the story, the art, everything just works. Even the ending, which again wrapped up earlier today, it just wraps up so nicely that it leaves kind of on a cliffhanger. You know, you don't end, doesn't end the story at the end of the tournament. It ends the story after the most pivotal game. One thing that I read was the reason why he ended it on that game against the strongest team is because there's no way to top that, and that's, I kind of agree with that. The last game was just so good. It was a long game. You know, it lasted many chapters, but it's one of those, I guess, go out on a high note. Like, how could he top that? What's the next game could be? So it was really great to end on that high note. And we do get a little, you know, epilogue. The 10 days later stories. There's a couple little miniature stories of the characters after the game as they go on their way, and we kind of see where they're going. But all in all, it was just a great read. Also, there's the recent movie, which we watched earlier this year, the first Slam Dunk. Also amazing, and it tells one of the side stories about one of the backstories of one of the characters, and we see some of the match that we, of course, read about in the manga. So highly recommend that. There's a reason that movie is also so highly rated. It was one of the top grossing movies in Japan for the year. It is on streaming here in the US, and the movie was amazing as well because the writing and the story of Slam Dunk is so good. So years later, 20, 30 years later, still highly recommend Slam Dunk. Give it a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. One of the best sports mangas and just overall mangas of all time. So Slam Dunk 2024 review, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Go read it now. Thanks for watching.